How do you quantify between the 99% of media in the tank for Joe Biden and all things Democratic Socialists, now big tech, they won't even publish from the 5th largest newspaper in the country a story that's negative to the Bidens?
Now, it's really extraordinary, and it's been getting worse and worse. The media hates the president. We know that. Many mainstream media outlets have just lost it in their loathing for him. But big tech, we've been seeing for several years now a growing pattern of big tech censoring conservatives, shadow banning conservatives, silencing views they don't like. But last week, I think, was really a pivotal moment with big tech, because what they did with these New York Post articles, they'd never done before. There were 2 back-to-back blockbuster stories on 2 consecutive days. One alleging information about Joe Biden's corruption concerning Ukraine, and the second alleging information about Joe Biden's corruption concerning communist China. In both instances, Twitter and Facebook prohibited anyone from learning about that. If you tried to tweet it, as I did, you would get blocked. You would get a warning that says this information is potentially harmful. And I guess the only way it was harmful is to Joe Biden's political prospects. Not only that, they went even further and they blocked the New York Post itself from posting on social media its own stories. That is a major escalation from silencing individual Americans to now big tech is telling the media, we have a veto power on what stories you can report on and what stories the American people can hear. If anyone in the mainstream media had even a shred of integrity, they would be outraged at this. Instead, because they want Donald Trump to lose, they will docilely go by big tech's incredible assertion of censorship power.
What do you make of what I believe would be the biggest power grab in the history of this country, or at least in 150 years? That would be packing the U.S. Supreme Court. That would be D.C., Puerto Rico statehood. I think Democrats think that's 4 Democratic Senate seats and a Senate majority in perpetuity, and amnesty for as many as 15 million Americans, something of great value, I would assume, in the hopes that they would forever vote Democrat. If those things happen, would we ever in our lifetime see a Republican as a president again?
So I think we would. I think we'd come back from it. But I think you focused on what are the top priorities for Democrats. And interestingly enough, it's not even the ideologically crazy stuff they want to do. It's trying to entrench their power. It's trying to pour into concrete that they will be in control. And so you're right. If the Democrats win, we'll see Chuck Schumer ending the filibuster. We'll see them adding 2 new states to the union. We'll see them adding millions of new voters to the rolls by granting amnesty to illegal aliens. And they will pack the court if they win. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they won't answer that question because the answer is yes. And I'll tell you what, I'm urging the Senate to take up and vote on legislation I introduced this week that would prohibit the Democrats from packing the Senate, packing the court, rather, either a constitutional amendment to ensure the court stays at 9.
That's a hard process, Senator. You know as well as I do.
But you know what? There's an easier process. I also introduced a bill that would create a point of order in the Senate. For any legislation changing the number of justices, it would take 2/3 of senators to move that forward. And I'm hopeful in the next 2 weeks we'll vote on it to put every single Democrat on record.
And
because you know what?
If the Democrats got control of the Senate, they just couldn't override that?
Well, they could, but it would take repealing that legislation because the legislation on it would create a 2/3 point of order. And listen, if they keep at it with a majority, they can do massive damage. And it's important to remember why they want to pack the court. They want to pack the court because they want to take away our free speech. They want to pack the court because they want to take away our religious liberty. They want to pack the court because they want to take away our Second Amendment. You mentioned a minute ago my book, One Vote Away. Every chapter in the book brings readers inside to how there are 4 justices willing to take away our fundamental rights. And the Democrats' agenda, which they weren't willing to defend in the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, is to take away those rights. That's why this election is so important, is to defend the Constitution and Bill of Rights, defend our freedom.
Yeah. And by the way, it seems more and more like John Roberts is the other liberal justice on the court. some of his decisions have been awful. Senator, thank you.
Terrible.
We appreciate you being with us. Congrats on the book.